Today on Zero to Awesome, I present to you a story in 3 acts. Act 1 is trying to return my newly purchased classic Austin Healey to my house without dropping it in a lake. Act 2 is trying to keep my newly purchased classic Austin Healey in my garage without burning it down. And then Act 3 is actually taking a look at my newly purchased classic Austin Healey to figure out what we're going to do with it, because I really don't know what's next for this project. So enjoy! I would like to introduce you to Operation Red October. And this is called Red October for 3 reasons. 1, I thought of it in October, even though it's now November. 2, it involves a red car. And 3, as you know, Red October was a submarine. And well, behind my house here, it's a couple leaves, we need to rake those up. There's a creek down there filled with water that runs into a lake. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna go pick up my new to me 1963, maybe 1965 Austin Healey, which is red and has no brakes. We're going to use the red Polaris and maybe the winch on the 4Runner and maybe the winch on Steven's truck. And we're going to lower it down this very steep driveway, try to avoid torpedoing it into the lake and get it into the garage so I can hopefully get it running and driving again. So Operation Red October, let's not sink my Austin Healey. We've got Steven's truck, we've got Steven, we've got Steven's child, we've got Steven's trailer with Steven's winch. So I will just let him do everything. I don't want to break his stuff, that'd be rude of me. Ooh, I think here's all my gas. Oh, look.
It looks dark though.
It might be mixed with oil and rust and water.
Yeah.
So what you can't tell is it smells like gas in here, because this car was restored lovingly, looks great, and then parked. And the gas tank rusted out, the master cylinder leaked all the fluid out. So yeah, it needs some work, but first, Operation Red October, let's go throw this thing in the lake. What do you think? You have not seen this before.
It's much smaller than you think it is. Like you say, it's small, and then you see it and you're like, this thing's small. Oh no, that door doesn't like it closed.
Oh.
Just slam it harder.
Okay, it's not necessarily closed as much as it's just currently closed.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay,
You want to be the front or the back? Which one of us gets run over?
this isn't bad. It's getting heavier though.
Okay, we need the left. I'll hold the left. It's a good thing, you really need like a third person to turn the wheel. But I mean, someone has to hold the camera.
Yeah, I mean, are we gonna say, you're just doing this all by yourself.
Yeah. I'm like really strong.
Is it heavy?
This car weighs nothing.
How are your fingers? And there's an engine in it, that's so weird. What are fingers?
Okay, it's going faster. Okay, that's better. Alright, get down like another 4 feet and then come back and steer. Okay, hang on. Ready? 1, 2. No, you steer. I got it. 1, 2.
You're so strong.
Oh. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh my god. Look at that. Please tell me it goes under the tennis ball.
Oh yeah, totally fits into the tennis ball.
Hold on. Safe. Against all odds, Operation Red October was a lot easier than I thought it would be. This thing is so lightweight, we actually just kind of lowered it down the garage with Steven holding on the rear bumper and me kind of pushing on the front bumper. And I'm not really planning on working on this car right away. I have other projects to finish, like house projects and other car projects that still aren't done. But I do need to do some work to this right away. You can't experience what I'm experiencing right now, but it's this disgusting sweet odor because this car, well, let's grab a flashlight. Where is my flashlight? You can't smell what I'm smelling, but inside this garage is the stinky, horrible odor of just sweet, petrified fuel. And that is because if we look down here, well, the gas can you see that? The gas tank on this car has rotted out. It is just oozing gas everywhere. What are we gonna do about that? Well, we're going to suck all of the nasty gas out of the tank, and then we're gonna take this gas tank off and probably just throw it away because a replacement gas tank is a couple $100, and I don't feel like attempting to repair a gas tank. You can't really repair them. You can try and you can weld them, and it's not safe, and we're just gonna replace it. But we're not replacing it right now. We just want our garage not to smell like complete death and garbage, and this can't be healthy. Oh, that is just a void of nasty, nasty sludge. Ugh, let's get that out of there. Gas tank is out, and it smells worse in here right now because the gas tank is gone. But let's play something called What Does the Fuel in Here Look Like? Oh yeah, there's still something in there. Ugh. Oh my god. I would call that a rusty brown orange? That can't be good. I don't even know what that means for the fuel system in this car. I'm sure all of the fuel lines are destroyed. Fuel filters, of course. The carb hopefully isn't completely destroyed. Maybe just gummed up. But the tank, the top isn't rusty. The inside there, that is just, yeah, that is beyond repair. And then the bottom, you can see where you can see where we had the damage. Somewhere over here. I really want to find the hole. I might have to poke around in that later and find the hole. But when I was pulling this out, found a couple interesting things. And well, I definitely inherited someone else's project. See that little notch right there cut out of the fuel tank? That's because there wasn't space in the suspension for the fuel tank. This bracket for the suspension was taking up that space, so I don't know if the suspension is not in the right place or the fuel tank wasn't mounted in the right place. Also, this fuel tank bolt right here was bolted off, and we got some corrosion right here. The metal looks fine. It's just the paint corroded off, so that's, you know what? I am not worried about that at all. That looks really good. I might have accidentally dropped my respirator in a puddle of the nasty old fuel, but this is what it looks like inside of the tank. And if you can't see, I took a couple pictures, but this is the fuel sender. It is crystallized and probably, I don't think that worked. The tank, not so hot in there, not so hot in there. Yeah, that's toast. There's no saving that, and really if your fuel tank has a hole in it, there's no saving it. People try and JB weld it, people try and weld it, which that's controversial if you can weld up a fuel tank or not. But yeah, that needs to be replaced. Fuel lines probably need to be replaced. Carburetor, hopefully just a clean. I did notice when we pulled it out of storage, it's leaking a little bit of antifreeze. So this thing, like, it looks great. It's the typical example of great from far, but far from great. Is that it? Good from far, but far from good. Anyways, like, it looks good, but it's got some problems. Still smells a little bit like gas in here. All right, here she is in all of her glory. She made it home. We got the gas tank out. Garage isn't gonna burn down, and it smells a lot better in here. And first thing, I need to get a car cover that fits because this plastic tarp isn't covering it. But this car looks really good from about 5 feet away, and actually pretty good close up, pretty good 2 feet away. The body, whoever restored it, actually, you can tell they did their own paint job, but it's really nice. There's a couple things that aren't great, like some rubbing here, chipped a little bit of paint off, and there was some rust repairs that, doesn't look great. Eventually, I'm going to have to clean that up, grind it down, fix that for real, maybe weld the rust away, whatever I can do. I don't think the car is super rusty. Underneath, it looks really clean. It's just these panels right here and the wheel wells. You can tell there's been some rust repairs, like that little guy there. So hopefully it's not a horrible, malignant terminal case of rust. It really looks clean. Kind of surprised that there is the rust that I'm seeing. Unfortunately, the grill is really smashed up because the hood release was broken, and to open the hood, the people I bought it from were just jamming a screwdriver in here, and it's pretty torn up, pretty smushed. The sad thing is, an MG Midget grill is really easy to find and really affordable. The Austin Healey grill, which this is the same car as the MG Midget, is expensive and much harder to find. So I don't think this is repairable. I think it's aluminum, and it's cut, it's dead. But that makes me sad. The car looks so good, and then we've got a smashed up grill. Also, can any Austin Healey Sprite or MG Midget people help me out with this? I can open the hood. I know how to do that. I can find the little hood opener upper stick. It's right here. But I can't find out where this stick goes. I spent probably 20 minutes looking, and there's no is something missing? Is there a little bracket? There's nowhere for my stick to rest, and I'm always afraid the hood is just gonna smash my head in. But once we get the hood open, the engine, it doesn't look really bad considering it's almost 60 years old, but it doesn't look great either. The engine bay itself is super clean. It's not very complicated. I think you can see down there, it has a frame oil filter. So I think someone took the time to put a spin-on oil filter adapter. It is, interestingly enough, still a positive ground car. You can see the positive terminal from the battery going to the firewall. So all of the 12-volt wiring in this car is backwards. I have read that's super easy to switch over to negative ground like the rest of the world runs on. We got dual carbs right there covered up by these shrouds. So those will be fun to see what's going on. You've got, I think this is a heater core. This has definitely been a replaced radiator, even a brand new looking radiator fan. Unfortunately, this car was restored and parked for about 12 years, so I'm sure every gasket, every piece of rubber, water pump, everything in here that can gum up and corrode or dry rot probably is gummed up, corroded, and or dry rotted. On top of that, these aren't the most reliable engines. I would go as far as to say these are one of the most unreliable engines you could possibly ever purchase. And that has me thinking, do I want to actually try and get this running? Do I want to replace the fuel tank and probably fuel lines? The master cylinder for both the brake and the clutch are completely trashed. Do I want to do all of that? Or is this the perfect candidate to turn into an electric car? And before you say, no, get it working, think about this, like the body looks great. Maybe a little bit of rust repair, but the body looks incredible. And the interior is very, very nice, with the exception of the one door over there that I still need to get to close. But super nice, super simple interior, a couple little trim pieces, and it's gonna clean up even better than it already looks. And it's super small and super lightweight, so it's not gonna take a ton of batteries and a huge electric motor to get this thing working as an electric car. So I think I've never done an EV swap before, but if I were to try, I think this would be it. I can weld, so I can build the brackets and the motor mounts and battery holders, but I really don't know. The other options include dropping a rotary in it, because there is potentially going to be a spare rotary engine coming up soon. Once Steven puts the LS in his RX-7, there's a spare rotary that needs to go somewhere. Or I could try and get this thing running. So really 3 options. EV swap it, rotary swap it, or just run her as she brung. So if you have an opinion on what to do with this car, or if you know where I'm supposed to put this stick, because I don't think it just sits there like that, let me know. I'd love to hear. And until then, I'm going to sit in the driver's seat and just make a vroom vroom noises because the car looks super cool and it doesn't run. So that's really all I can do. One last parting thought. I took the convertible top off and it just looks so good with the convertible top off. I don't think it's ever going back on. So from now on, this car is a roadster. I can probably just, that convertible top, it's going in the attic or it's going in the trash. It's never going back on this car. Vroom, 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 vroom. Not a lot of interior space.